Welcome back. It is November 30th or December 1st, depending on if I have you first or second period. Okay, so here's what we got. We are going to be teaching what is called MLA formatting. Papers that are typed are supposed to be typed in a specific format. There's a specific template that's going to be used. And we are going to learn that template and we are going to work with that template. And by the way, future CSWAs will end up being typed and they will be typed in MLA format. So anyway, I'm letting everybody know that that's one of the reasons that we're going to do that. But the most important reason is this. Um, some of you may be sitting there saying, you know what, I'm never going to go to college. Like college is not in my future. Well, you know what? It wasn't for me either. I had absolutely no intentions of going to college and I had my life on a specific track and, things change. And I realized that I was in a place in life where I wasn't going to go any higher than I was at my specific company that I was working for. I realized that I wasn't going to make any more money, that I wasn't going to be any happier, or I wasn't going to be happy, period. So I knew that I needed to change some things. And sometimes the companies that you work for or the companies that you want to get jobs with, they're only going to accept people with some college. They may accept an associate's degree, which is a 2-year degree, or they may accept a full bachelor's. Um, and you're sitting there saying, well, not me. But you know what? Things happen. You're going to get married. Um, maybe you're going to have a kid unexpectedly, or maybe you're going to have a kid and you're going to plan on that. And you're just realizing that, you know what? If I made a little more money, it would be a lot easier on on his mother and I that I take care of him this way. There's all sorts of reasons that that things are going to happen. So what I wanted to point out was this. Okay, if you look at basically, if you look at the screen, this is an example of an MLA formatted paper. And as you see, this is a 2-page paper. And then the third page is the works cited page, which is a list of everything that you used to write the paper, which is something that you have to do. If you don't do that, you could be in trouble for academic dishonesty, which is the word for plagiarism. And having a plagiarism charge against you is something that makes it very tough to get into other colleges or anything. What we have here is the very first page starts out. You have up here the page number in the upper right hand corner, and it's got the name of the person that wrote the paper and then the number 1, which is the first page. Skip a space and you go to the left margin, and this is the name of the author of the paper, the professor's name, the name of the course, and the date. And as you see here, they do that whole European thing with the date. Okay, they use the day, the month, and then the year. You skip a space and you have the title. The title is not in any bigger font than normal, same font, and the same size, and it's centered. And then after that, you just tab. Everything is double spaced, so you're really not double spacing more than once. Okay, you're not hitting the enter key more than once. So you go to the first paragraph, and the first paragraph, of course, like every other paragraph, is indented, and everything is double spaced. The second paragraph is indented, double spaced. The third paragraph is indented. The fourth paragraph is indented. And as you see here, the page number changes as you go to the second page. Here, the page number is page 3. And then this is the works cited page. At the very top, it says works cited. And as you see here, there's a specific way that they want you to cite your work. And everything is double spaced. And I'll explain what this space right here is about in a minute. So these are the notes that we're going to be covering in class. What we have here is, this is the basic MLA formatting, okay? Everything is used for 1-inch margins. Everything that is written is in a 12-point font. They want you to use Times New Roman, and the paper is 8.5 by 11. Your last name, space, and page number is in the upper right-hand corner. The number only. You don't put page, you don't put P, period, anything like that. You just put the number. The heading is in the upper left. This area right here is in the upper left. Is your first name, first and last name, teacher or your professor's name, the class, English 2, which is what you're going to, and then the day and the month and the year. Your title is centered, and you use your tab key to indent the paragraphs. And that's pretty much how that works, plain and simple. Your works cited page is going to look like this. Everything that you use outside of your own head needs to be on the works cited page. If you use a dictionary, if you use an encyclopedia, if you use a website, if you use a novel, anything, you have to put it in the works cited page. There is a specific format for that, which I will go into later. 12-point font, Times New Roman, double spaced. The first line touches the left margin. Second lines are tabbed over. So as you see here, in the works cited page, every line that touches the left margin, that's a new source. So in this particular works cited page, there's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 sources. Another thing that I want to point out is this. Notice how the sources are arranged alphabetically by last name. Baldry, Ballman, Gerdes, Messett, Monks. Okay? This is one entire citation. So since the citation was so long, the next line over, they tab it. And you tab it until that citation is over. Therefore, in order for me to realize how many sources there are or where the source begins, I look for whatever touches the left margin. It's kind of like the opposite for paragraphs. In a paragraph, I can tell where a new paragraph begins from the indentation. Here on a works cited page, I can tell where each source begins by what line is touching the left margin. And I know that these lines are a continuation of that because they're tabbed over. So it's sort of in reverse a little bit. Okay. This right here explains the Modern Language Association, which is MLA Formatting. It's the way that researchers and students and scholars format their papers, so there's a consistent uniformity, simplifying the reading and writing process. So I want you to think about this. Think about if there was no way that was specifically mentioned for students to format their papers, you would have thousands of students turning in essays that all looked different. And it would be a burden on the professor or the teaching assistant to grade the paper. So what they did is they decided, you know what, we want everybody to write in the same particular format. That way I know exactly where I need to go to look for exactly what I need to look for. So when you're taking literature and language classes, you're going to be using MLA. When you're taking social sciences like social studies or sociology or psychology or any of those, you're going to be using APA. So of course, this is a literature class, or this is English, so I'm going to be teaching MLA formatting. So one of the things that I wanted to do is I wanted to point this out. Okay, so if we take a look at this paper, everything is exactly the way it should be. We have 1-inch margins here. We have the page number with the writer's last name up here on all the pages. Okay, right there, Dempsey 2, Dempsey 3. You have the heading, which is the writer of the essay, the professor, the name of the class, and the date, done by day, month, and year. Hit return, and you have centered the title of the essay. And then every paragraph after that is indented and double spaced. So as you see here, everything has a consistent look to it. and therefore it's easier for the teachers to grade it. And then, of course, when we get to the works cited page, I'm looking at the works cited page here, and I'm noticing that there are how many? Five. There are five works cited, or excuse me, works that are cited. They're all alphabetically arranged: Armstrong, Birkenstein, Lowry, Orwell, Waugh. And this one is a long citation, so of course it wrapped over to the next line, and that next line was indented to let me know that this line here belongs to this one. So these are pretty much the things that we're going to be doing in class. Okay, you're going to be looking at all of these concepts and formats, and you're going to be arranging different types of MLA formatting. So it can be something that's second nature to you. Um, and of course, if you have any questions, just email me and I will help you out with that.